Hi beautiful people, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. It's me again with another video. Today I want us to review. I'm using the front camera of my phone, so you will see the letters like backwards. This is a book. I want us to talk about a little bit of it. I've never reviewed a book before. This is my first time, so bear with me. I don't know if I am close enough. That's better. My forehead is just on your faces. Anyway, so let's get straight into this. So Homegoing, it's written by Yasi. I don't know if the G is silent, but it's Gyasi. It's a good book. Okay, the reason why I say it's a good book, in my opinion, actually it should we should have it like a set book in school. And the reason why I'm saying that is this. It's talking about slave trade. Let me just say, largely it's talking about slave trade. It's based in Ghana and also in the States. So, like someone is born in Ghana, okay? So, let's say like now your great-great-grandmother and you right now, who is not in Ghana anymore, they are like now they are they like the third, fourth generation is in the States or something. For example, every chapter has a person. By that I mean, for example, the first chapter talks about someone called Efia. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, Efia. So it tells us about where she was born, how their village was, and all that, how the parents were. So something I didn't know, or maybe, in school I hated history. I hated the history teacher. But I'm coming to learn that history is very interesting and all that. So when I read this book, especially the first chapters, the last chapters, for example, now if the first chapter is talking about Efia, like as you progress on, now probably you will see about like Efia's grandchildren, like their lives are a bit better. But now those people who were there initially, like now kina Efia, wait, no. Like, so what I didn't know, okay, even though it's a fictional book, but I know it has some truth to it. So what was happening is that the whites, what they used to do, they really loved when communities fight against each other. So that when the communities fight against each other, communities would, obviously the men were the warriors, right? They were the ones who were going to fight and all that. So when for example, if your community comes to fight my community and then your community wins the war, see, obviously now the men are wounded. So what will happen? They will take children and women as slaves. So they will go take them. And then once they've taken them, then they will sell them to the whites, or they will exchange them for something. So the whites had like a station, let me call it a station at Cape Coast. That's where the ships would come, take the slaves, and take them where? To the States. If you read how the condition of where the slaves used to stay, my friend, you will just be so angry. Oh, it was just unnerving. Like the conditions, the way they say where people were piled, and probably the person who is on top of you is dead. You never know. Like you would poo and susu there. I read this book and somehow I hated our colonizers. I did, because and then communities, I don't know why we fight against each other. And at times when we're fighting against each other, whether you're from a different tribe or a different community than someone is, you forget that the enemy is one. For example, like right now, we fight, like you remember like the 2007 elections in Kenya. People fought against each other, forgetting that we are not enemies of one another. We are not. Our common goal, we all want to live and survive. Is that not what we all want? We want to survive. But the funny thing is that most people in power like now in this book, the whites, what they used to do, because they really wanted, there were people, there were families that were known for slave trade. Yeah, there's one family there that was known for slave trade. That is what they did. So they would, when I think, like for example, the Ashantis were known to be the greatest warriors or soldiers, yes, because what they did, now they used to go fight. For example, they fight the Ewes or the Fantes, and then now they take women and children. Because the thought of women and children, oh, that was so depressing. There's a part of the book that says of how this lady with her child strapped and then now when war started, you had to go and like you climb trees, you stay, you hold on to the tree. Do you even know how to climb a tree? You hold on to that tree because now the soldiers are passing by. So what the soldiers would do, or the warriors would do, because they knew that where the women and children hid was on top of trees, so what they would do, they would throw stones. So they would throw stones up the trees, they would hit you. Now imagine you have your child strapped, you know, and then you're holding on to the tree, and then now someone is hitting you with stones or whatever it is that they're throwing. And the reason why they're doing that, they want you to give up and fall. And then when you fall down, now they will hold you and someone else together. There were also men who were taken as slaves. And then at times, you're taken, let's say for example, your father, mother, and your child. Then now when it comes to time to sell you, you are sold to different people. So now the family separates. So now you as a parent, you're only praying and hoping that your child is okay, or your husband is okay, or your wife is okay. By the way, I read those stories and I was like, wow, okay. So I would advise you to get this book and please just read it and see and understand some of these things. Just understand them. It has like a part 1 and a part 2. Like now the part 2 shows that other side of the states, and now part 1 shows this other side of Ghana. Okay, yeah. So you just read it, by the way. Like I lack words to say. I wish I had someone to like discuss this book with. It would be so nice, so that I can also get someone else's opinion on the same, because as for me, it made me so angry. I remember the time I was reading this book, because most of the time when I take a matatu or a bus from work or to work in the morning, I always remove my book and read. But then that's when I get time to read. And there's a time I was reading and I just started crying because I was so angry and I felt like I was in that place, and the disappointment, I started to shed tears. And I think the person who was sitting next to me was just staring at me and wondering, is this lady okay? But I was okay. I was not okay, because this book, my friend, please just get it and read it. By the way, read it. It's called Homegoing. Yeah, Homegoing. And this book should just be, it should just be a set book, because every African needs to read it, so that we can understand. I would want to read more books like this that are somehow enlightening. So in case you have ideas of what I can read, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if I've done a good job or I was just rambling at everything, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.